top producers do exactly. So, Tyler, if you want to just start by introducing yourself, how long you've been in the business, how you came around the idea of that this is a great business you wanted to get in and start working. If you can just, I guess,
Sure.
introduce yourself and give us a bit of information about you and your family, and we'll get it going.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you inviting me here. I'm humbled by it. I see so many names um, on this call that are names that I saw before I even got my license, before I got into this business. And I was thinking, man, I just want to get in and do what these guys are doing. So, man, just for everyone on here, I'm so humbled. Thanks so much for being here. But yeah, my name's Tyler May. A few short months ago, started this journey. I'm actually really still a baby. I'm still figuring things out. Still kind of a moron, really. But one thing I know for sure is that I'm in the right place, and I'm really, really grateful that Family First Life found me. But yeah, I got a wife, 2 kids. My wife stays home with the kids. I actually had a business prior to coming to Family First Life. It was a startup with my buddy Joe Basso, who some of you guys know is now a big part of this business as well. And I trust him a lot when it comes to business. And he told me early this year, he's like, "Hey man, I'm into something really, really good. You should check it out." I was like, "Man, life insurance? No, that's probably not for me. I've got other things going. I got other irons in the fire. But good luck with everything." And they started showing me some of his agents, some of the money they were making. And then he dragged me down to this meeting in North Carolina back in either late February, early March, where I met Ivan and some of the team. And that's when it really, really got real for me. So when I say I really just started my journey a few months ago, I just came in the door a few months ago. And once I got done with that meeting in North Carolina, I just started consuming a ton of content. And I've been fired up ever since. I mean, at this point, I'm still not technically full-time until week after next. So up to this point, I didn't expect to want to go in so hard, so fast when I did. So I'm tying up some loose ends, and then here in the next month or two, I'm hearing you say these Steve G numbers just now. I'm like, all right, what do I got to do to get there? I can do that. So that's the goal.
Got it. Well, yeah, thanks for that info. And I see Joe joined here. I mean, I vividly remember that day when we did that sales training in North Carolina where Joe and you came out and he introduced me to you. So, and he said, "Hey, Ivan, watch out. This guy's going to do some massive things here." So, and he was right. I mean, you know him, he knew you so for quite a bit of the time. So, and that's how basically came out, that you're definitely crushing it. So pouring gasoline on the fire. And I know I've been with Mark yesterday too, and he's like, "Hey, like I'm getting Tyler in our calls as well." I mean, it's hard to ignore the numbers, it's hard to ignore the growth, and it's hard to ignore, just really somebody that's hard to ignore, right? Somebody that really bringing results and crushing it and just rocking and rolling on a daily basis, So, but congrats on all your success at just the beginning. I know you know that, Tyler. But can you talk to me a little bit about the very first sales conference you went to? What did it do for you? Why did it click? So I heard you saying it just now. Like, I went to that conference. That's when it got real. I started consuming the content, plugged in, started living and breathing FFL. So can you kind of elaborate on that?
Sure. Yeah. I think up to that point, the agreement I had with Joe was I was going to come in part-time, and this is just something I was going to do on the side. And when I came to that conference, and it was so much bigger than me, I saw the people in that room that were new agents that were just so excited and talking about the opportunity and what it's meant to them. And then you have these Hall of Fame producers get up and talked about where they started just a few, some of them just a year or two ago were in a completely different place in life. And it just got real. When I heard those stories, I was really expecting it to be a lot of hoopla which is what you get a lot of times when you go to those things.
Udah,
You know,
oke, aja
a sales event, a sales
Hey
conference.
guys, can you
So
mute out? Can you mute out, Cecilia? Cecilia, can you mute out, please? I'm sorry. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Sorry.
yeah,
Go
that's
ahead.
all good. Yeah, I just expected there to be a lot of like, you know, a lot of talk, and everybody there was so humble, and it was all about the numbers. Like it was it wasn't about talking about it. It was about being about it. You know, people just did, and I thought that was incredible. And so, like I said, when I left there, my mentality changed where I was like, okay, in the next few months, this is going to be full time. This is not going to be what I do on the side. There is going to be no side. I'm going all in, both feet, FFL. And so you're right. I'm just getting started, guys, and I'm again super humble to be here. But I'm so excited what the future looks like. I think that's the coolest thing with FFL is like we should all be so excited about what our future looks like because it's uncapped potential. You know, we're in such an awesome spot right now.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the numbers because again, numbers don't lie, Tyler. So up to this point, so
Right.
you've been doing it part-time, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a full-time week yet.
Got it. What was your best week so far?
I've had 2 weeks right at like 11,500.
11,500 doing it part-time. Okay. And what kind of hours did you work to come up with 11 grand in premium?
Like
How many
it's hard
appointments
to
did you
say.
run? How many appointments did you run?
I think I ran like 10 to 12 appointments both weeks that I did that.
Okay.
Again, I mean, those aren't the normal numbers, right? That's why I hear you saying these bigger numbers. I'm like, okay, if I double my work when I come in this thing full swing here in the next 2 weeks, if I double my workload, I double my lead spend. That's the beautiful thing about it. The law of averages is always going to play on your side. So knowing I can make 11,000 running, 10 to 12 appointments, if I double, triple my appointment and I get out to my 25, 30 appointments for the week, that tells me, the best is yet to come.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Cool. So talk to us a little bit about your approach on the phone. So what do you do on the phones, Tyler? How do you, obviously, if you're running that many appointments, I bet you that you have pretty good show ratio. Otherwise, how can you sell that much, right? So can you elaborate on that a little bit? And we would like to learn how to tie down the appointments, how to be intentional about booking real appointments and not lying to yourself, because some of the people I know that are working full-time, they're booking a ton of appointments and they're lying to themselves, thinking they're real appointments, and they run into closed doors, people saying them, hey, I didn't I told you not to come, and you still booked me, right? So can you talk to us a little bit about your phone script as well?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, when they say that this business is, your money's made on the phones, it's so true. When I started out, I really had to tone down and sound more professional because by nature, I'm like a really amped up guy. And I have to do the same thing with my in-home too. So, I bring it really down. I talk really slow and calculated. And then I make sure when I call them, my mentality when I call is always these people need me. I don't need them. There's plenty of leads, right? We want to help whoever wants to be helped. But if you go into I think mindset is everything. And if you go into your phone calls thinking, man, I just hope I'm really hoping that it's just not, it's going to be so much harder than, look, I have these people, they filled out a freaking form, right? They're interested, they need this product. I'm going to call and literally give them exactly what they need. And if they're going to be rude, if they don't want it, whatever, hey, that's great. I got plenty of people I can talk to. On to the next one. So I think, first of all, the mentality going in has to be, these people need my help. I'm the problem solver, and I'm here to help the people that want to be helped. If they don't want to be helped, like you said, Ivan, don't force it, because there's people that want to be helped out there, and you're going to miss those people because you're filling up your time slots with people that you can tell just from talking to them, they're not interested, but you want to be able to text your crew and say, I got 15 appointments set today. Well, that's great. But if they don't want to be helped, you're going to have a really hard time, showing up and convincing them that they need your help when there's, again, someone right up the street who really would want you to be there and to get them taken care of. So that's mentality to me is the biggest thing. And then once they're on the line, we can kind of role play it. I actually haven't done this yet. So kind of
Yeah,
nerve wracking, but we'll try. So,
let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's a
all
great
right, cool.
idea.
All right, ring, ring.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, is this Ivan?
Yeah, who's calling?
Ivan, hey, this is Tyler. Just getting back with you about the mortgage protection that you'd called in about. And I'm not going to keep you. I just need to confirm some information with you real quick. It says here that your birthday is 2/25/1973. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I don't remember filling anything out.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, for this to come across to my office, Ivan, and maybe it wasn't you, but it just means somebody in the household just requested some information. So all I'm trying to do is just get that information to you as quickly as I can. Okay. I have here your address is 123 Success Lane. Is that right?
It's me.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, like I said, Ivan, this is something I'm not going to take a lot of your time. I just want to get you guys this information. I'm the field underwriter who's been assigned to you. Just want to make sure that you guys have what you need here. This is a non-medical type of coverage. Okay, just to make sure, I want to make sure you understand. I'm not going to send you anywhere. You don't have to get any blood drawn, no urine samples, anything like that. I literally, all they have me do is come out, verify your residency, make sure you're not in a wheelchair, strapped to a hospital bed, anything crazy. And then at that point, take 3 to 5 minutes and I can show you what you guys will be qualified for. Okay. Looking at my schedule, I've got left about 12 families a day that I see. 2 spots left tomorrow. I've got 2 p.m. and I've got 6 p.m. Which one of those is best for you for me to swing by?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I'll be home at 6, but can you just email me some information and we'll go from there?
Yeah, I wish I could. That would make my job a lot easier, but I definitely am. I'm not trying to lose my license. And if I don't come out there and verify the information they need me to verify, then I could get in big trouble. So, yeah, man, just if you give me a few minutes, I promise I'm not going to hog up your evening. I'll be respectful of your time. I just want to make sure you guys have the information. So you said 6 o'clock. Now I see here you have a co-borrower. Is that your? I'm assuming that's a spouse.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So will she be home at the same time tomorrow
Yeah.
evening, 6 o'clock?
She
All right,
should.
perfect. I won't be long, Ivan. Like I said, I'll take a few minutes. If you just give me some undivided attention for like 5-10 minutes, that way you'll have the information and I can go ahead and sign off that I came out and met with you guys, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, perfect. Now, 6 o'clock tomorrow, do me a favor, Ivan, grab something to write with real quick. I want to make sure you have my information as well, since I have yours.
Okay.
Okay, my name is Tyler. I'm going to be in a gray Toyota Camry. You go ahead, write down our appointment time. It's going to be 6 p.m. Tomorrow is Friday, July the 2nd. Okay, 6 p.m. Friday, July 2nd. Confirmation code for that appointment is FFLVA19. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to have my state license with me when I arrive. I'm not going to take a lot of time, but I want to make sure that you know that you're talking to the right person. So I'll have that with me and then we'll just sit down for a few minutes. I'll make sure you guys have everything that you need before I take off. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. I look forward to meeting with you guys tomorrow at 6. Have a great day.
2. Wow. All right. So you guys getting the clues here, right? So what I'm understanding from this script is really simple. It's really not rushed, lower voice, and really upfront, I want to say. That's why the show ratio is there. And also, I'm pretty sure, Tyler, you're not afraid to work hard. You much rather stay in the office until late night than having to knock on the doors that's not going to open. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's crazy because the dial day, and again, I just dove into so much content before I even started. So I wanted to hear what all the top producers were saying so that when I came in the door, I could just copy paste. I didn't have to try to figure things out. I didn't want to wait around. I thought I was going to be, part-time forever. So I'm like, hey, if I'm part-time in this, I want to make the most money I can in the couple hours I'm going to put in every week. Again, now times have changed where I see the potential. I'm like, oh man, I'm going to put all my hours into this. It's going to be crazy. But the phone side of it, you're beating yourself up if you're setting bad appointments, plain and simple. I have an agent who just started full-time this week, and he booked about 15 appointments, but he closed, I want to say 2. And he called me, he was all upset. I said, man, here's the great thing about these numbers. We already have the diagnosis. We got to set better appointments because his no-show rate was through the roof. He went out there, people weren't interested. They forgot they even talked to him on the phone the day before. I said, hey, the great thing about FFL is all we got to do is take a problem. We have the diagnosis, we have the answer, fix it, and things will start to turn around. So, we're working on his phone script so that today he called me all excited today. He's like, hey man, I've got 6 appointments booked already. I feel good. It's really working. I can tell these people are a lot more interested. When in reality, it's all up here. It's all happening in his mind. But yeah, I mean, I think you're going to set about as solid as an appointment as it's going to be as real to the people you're talking to and as serious for them as you make it. And if you're trying to just phone it in, no pun intended, if you're just trying to phone it in just to get your hours in and feel like you did a good job for your dial day, then you're screwing over future you. The next day or two, you're going to end up doing a lot of running around, and we all know how that works. That ripple effect. Once you start getting bummed out, it's hard to bounce back from that. So why not just set yourself up for that good warm fuzzy feeling when you're in the field? Because that's, once you start making money, you start making more money. Once you start helping people, all of a sudden you start doing 2, 3, 4, 5 policies in a row. That's not ironic.
Absolutely. And the next dial day feels different. Would you, if you have
Absolutely.
2 terrible days, would you want to continue investing money in the leads? Probably not, right? So
Right.
what kind of mindset are you going to approach the next dial day?
Yep.
Well, if you're going through the rough patch, just reset, whatever's in the past, doesn't really matter. Just go all in,
right.
put the money in and, go to work. But also, Tyler, you mentioned just now, and I'm like, well, that's crazy. One of the agent, I'm assuming you already hired some people being, part-time, because you got this proof of the concept for yourself that
Right.
it can really change your life, and you hiring people. We'll get to it in just a second, but the flash question: who's your top 3 trainers in the company? Share with everybody who everybody here should be listening to.
I mean, the top's going to probably be Ivan Vedrov, I think.
No, stop. No, stop.
I know,
because that's not true. Number 1, number 2, you just, I don't know what you're trying to do here. But do the top 5 real trainers in the country that helped you get to where you're at now, and the ones that you consistently listening to.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. When I first got rolling, Andrew Taylor and Mark Mead's podcast, it's all I listened to, man. I just went down the line all day, every day. I was waiting for my license. I had other things I was doing, but it wasn't requiring all my attention. Had my AirPods in, and I was just running through those guys' podcasts. So when you say top trainers, my first 2 that are on a whole different level are Mark and Andrew, just because they put out so much content. That's what I was drawn to. I mean, honestly, Sean Mike is a great trainer, man. If you watch his videos, I get more fired up. I'm thinking, man, this is the CEO. He doesn't have to be doing any of this. But man, when he puts out content, it's contagious. And you want to get out. I mean, I want to go knock doors down as soon as I hear him say anything. So it's pretty cool to be somewhere where you can literally say one of your top trainers in the whole country, and the whole company is the CEO, the guy that started it all.
Yeah, that's amazing. And if you guys go back and listen to some of the recordings from 5-6 years ago, that he actually does the sales training, because we didn't have the boot camp back in the day. There was just a few videos he recorded for 15, 20 minutes each, and everybody were consuming that, watching it, going out in the field. But to watch that's the foundation of Family First Life sales training. So you're right. I mean, let's not forget about it. Yeah, you can definitely go and listen to Evan Melchor. You can listen to Dan Chernati. You can listen to Steve and Rob and JP and a lot of other great ones. But hey, go. You can't lose if you listen to Sean, without a doubt.
Yeah,
it's
incredible how much content. It's incredible how much content that we have access to. That's not normal to have so much wholesome, good content right out of the gate. So when an agent comes in and is struggling, I mean, everybody's going to have a learning curve. I get that. But the answer is, we all have smart devices. The answer is one click away. That's what's crazy, is there's just so much good stuff to consume.
Yeah. Hop on the YouTube, hop on the podcast. Doesn't really matter.
That's all you got to do. Yep.
Fall asleep in the headphones. I
right.
don't care. I mean, that's just what it takes. Work hard in every area. Phones, commit to the training, stop listening to music. So all makes sense.
Yep.
But let's dive into the recruiting side of it. I mean, and again, it's not for everybody. By all means, I want to just give you all heads up that you trying to run your personal production, go home, enjoy a family. God bless you. We all about it. You saying, hey, I wanna build something big. We all about it as well. So it sounds like, Tyler, you've hired a few people into this business on your team, and they're out in the field working, making money. So talk to us a little bit about that. What prompted you to do that, to start with that, knowing that you just started here yourself, don't really know anything yourself, doing it part-time, and you hired a few agents. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah. So I've been in sales for almost 15 years, but my passion is always to help other people make more money than they've ever made before, and get to the point where money is not. I heard on a podcast yesterday, actually an Andrew Taylor podcast, still consuming all the time. But I heard on a podcast yesterday, actually it was Rob Richmond. He said that one of the best moments for him is when he had a guy that said he and his family used to go to the movies and they had to split a popcorn and a soda, every time they went to the movies, him and his wife and kids. And now they go to the movies and everybody gets their own drink and popcorn, which we all know at a movie theater is like $2,000. But the point is that the guy said be able to do things with his family and not have the financial stress of we can't afford to do that. I wish we could, but we can't. To be able to help create that for other people, and be able to bring them in and teach them and change lives that way, to me is really, I was really drawn to that part of FFL right out of the gate. As soon as I was drawn to the sales side of it, I was drawn to the agency side and helping other people, that whole side of it as well. So as soon as so let me just tell you guys this. When I came in, I told Joe, who brought me into this business, I told Joe, I said, I want to prove to myself that this is for me, and I can do this. And so even though I had other things going, another company on the side that we were getting started and I was running, I said, I'm going to give this my undivided attention for 10 days. And I'm going to try to do $10,000 in business my first 10 days. That was my goal. And this is 2 months ago. And I did 11,400 in 7 days. And that was my first 7 days. You can call them full time then, because I was actually really I was pushing hard that week to get that done. And once I did that, I thought, okay, I looked at my bank account, and you hear it on these podcasts, but these Americo, they're just hitting your bank account as you're writing them. And once I saw that, I thought, okay, now I can help people, because I couldn't help anybody coming in all excited about this company because I heard all these hundreds of hours of podcasts and YouTube videos. That's not helping anybody. When I could screenshot my bank account and send it to friends and family, now I'm able to help people, because I can say, hey, look, if you're happy doing what you're doing, you don't want any changes, that's fine. I don't want to bug you. I'm just letting you know I found something here. It's a really good opportunity. If you're interested, we can talk. And that's that. I mean, I don't push hard on the recruiting side at all, because like I said, the numbers speak. We live in a day and age where everybody's trying to pull everybody into their business and multi-level marketing, and you hear pyramid schemes, all that stuff. So somebody looks at FFL and they just see the numbers, and they just see, that you're genuine and authentic, and it's not about the flashy. You're not taking pictures with your flashy cars or house or whatever. You're actually going out, protecting families, serving people. And then you show them the money that you're making, getting to do that. I mean, I feel like it speaks for itself. If you belong here at that point, then you're going to come on board.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense, man. You putting others before self, but that will always play out nicely, because that's really like, if you worry about your own good, your own bank account, and you put others first, then and amazing things happen. Both on the sales side, recruiting side. That's just how it works, guys. But Tyler, fill us in on some of your goals for this year. Where you want to be? Where did you want to finish? Where do you want to finish the year? What's your goal for personal production, and what's your goal for the team?
Sure. So personal production, I want to, like I said, week after next is when I get to finally come in focused and give all my undivided attention to Family First Life. So my personal goal is to really, I really want to consistently submit 40 to 50,000 a month in good business. I know I've learned that a lot of people say what their goals are and they want to submit, but I mean, good solid business, 40 to $50,000 a month personally is my goal. Because now I've done 30,000. I've done 30,000 in a month part time. I've watched other people do 30,000 in a month part time. And you look at those numbers and you think, well, why aren't we doing, why can't we do 40, 50, 60,000 full time if we're able to do that part time, giving it all of our attention, right? So that's my personal goal, is to consistently stay in that 40 to 50 range monthly while still trying to build out my agency. It's going to sound crazy, but my goal, saying it here for the first time publicly, only a handful of people know this. My goal is for my agency to be at 500,000 by the end of this year.
Wow,
I want to be at
that's aggressive. That's aggressive. That's crazy. What makes you feel that you're gonna hit this goal? Why are you setting this kind of goal? What makes you realize that, hey, I mean, I can do this. Our team can do this.
Because it's doable. I mean, I feel like knowing the numbers now, I had to come in and get acclimated to the numbers and what's involved and listen to how people have done it in the past. I hear different podcasts where guys have come in. I mean, Nick Ayala, obviously, is a great example. But my goal is to lead from the front, put up my numbers, and have, I want to have 20, 30 writing agents.
Does it have to do? Does it have to do anything with leads, Tyler? Does that like? Do you think, like, you believe that this is possible because we have leads here? Is that kind of part of the
reason? 100%. It's really crazy because there's no shortage of people that need help. There's no shortage of leads. It's really being able to inspire and motivate people to just buy leads. That hashtag, I know we say it all the time, but if you can motivate people to just get the exam out of the way, get in the field, just buy leads, book your appointments, and show up to your appointments. We've already talked about you got to set good appointments, but once you set a good appointment and show up to it, the numbers are going to work in your favor every time. And so if I can help teach enough people in the next few months to do the same thing, then there's no reason why shooting for a $500,000 agency by the end of 2021 is out of the question.
I agree 100%. Yeah. And I wasn't trying to put words in your mouth, but
you're right though.
That's how I feel, like, I mean, I wouldn't be so confident we can hit our goals that we set for the agency unless we have leads. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like there's
sorry to cut you off, Ivan. I came from door-to-door sales. So it's hard to set a goal there because you're cold knocking. You still have the law of averages. You still have numbers you can go off of. You're going out, you're knocking doors, but you can only knock so many doors in a week. And you have to hope you're knocking on the right doors. Nobody filled out a form. I always said it would be a superpower to be able to go into a neighborhood to knock doors back in the day when I was, full-time knocking doors. It would be a superpower to know which people are interested. Not even buyers, just if you could put like a green check mark on every house where they're in the market for what I'm selling, that would be the most incredible gift you'd be given. And here we are in a position where you literally, the gift is there. Your superpower, you buy the lead and you now have access to these people who are interested. They wouldn't have filled out a form if they weren't interested. They're thinking about it, right? So it's our job to convert those, obviously, but what a gift to be able to make a phone call or knock a door of somebody who we already know is in the market.
No doubt. Absolutely. So it makes a huge difference for everybody here, I'm pretty sure. But all right, guys, let's do this. We got time for 3 questions to Tyler. Go ahead and mute yourself, ask a question. Once we answer all 3, we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to ask you to give us a parting shot, Tyler, and we're going to wrap it up, man. So who's got questions?
Tyler, it's Taylor Tyner here. Quick question for you. So what is your advice for, a new agent that's wanting to come on part-time? Is it doable? Is it stressful? Should they focus on coming on full-time? What was that experience like?
So I have one agent who came in part-time for 2 weeks. He did one policy, called me and he said, "Hey man, I'm at a crossroads. I believe in this business, but I can't split my attention. Like I either have to go all in or I got to go back to my other job. And I said, all right, well, do you believe in FFL? Yes. Do you believe in the process? Yes. Your other job, where is it taking you? Like, do you want to stay there forever? No, I don't want, like most people. No, I don't really like it. I actually am miserable there. I'm looking for a way out. Of course they are. You wouldn't be doing this part-time if you were perfectly happy doing what you're doing and they're paying you the money you want to be paid, blah, blah, blah. Right. He goes, no, I don't want to do that forever. Okay. Well, if you know you don't want to do that forever and you know you believe in what we're doing here, are you willing to work as hard as you need to work? Yes. Okay. Are you willing to buy leads? Invest in yourself, invest in your business. Even if you have to start slow. I started really slow. I bought cheap leads and worked my way up to more expensive leads. Yes, I'm willing to do that. Okay, good. And are you coachable? Are you going to do, what other people here that are successful, are you going to follow that template? Yes. Okay. Well, then it sounds like your decision's already made. Because if you know you're going to quit your other job anyways because you're miserable and you're looking for something that's a better fit and you feel like it's this, let's go all in and do this. And he quit his job, put in his 2 weeks notice. While he was still part-time, he did $6,000 in AP that next weekend. I was like, man, what changed? And he said, it was the mentality, the psychology of knowing he was all in, even though he hadn't left his other job entirely yet. The mentality of knowing he just decided to go all in, it's something clicked for him and he started doing more business. So I think coming in part-time, I think it's a great way to draw new agents in. Is it sustainable? Some people do it, obviously. But I think the idea is if you're going to come in part-time, great. Get your license, get your exam out of the way, get your license, get out in the field, run appointments when you can, close a policy or two, see that money hit your bank account 48 hours later, and then let's have a phone call. That's kind of how I look at it. If you go, this is perfect. I want to just make an extra $5,000 a month doing this. Perfect. If you need me, call me because I'm going to be investing my time in the agents that are like ready to go, right? If you want to just do this on the side, $5-10 a month, that's cool. You can do that. Obviously, it's a beautiful thing about the business, but I don't know. That's how I've handled it so far. I hope that helps.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that real quick. I know we want to get some other questions, but how do you structure your new agents on a part-time? Do you have them dialing, every evening, or are they still doing a Monday, Thursday and trying to set, or just for the weekend, or what?
So keep in mind, so I started this 2 months ago. I've got I got a good flow of people that came in that went through licensing. I've actually got a guy here in the office with me right now who just got his license, just came back today. So he's about to go through contracting. So keep in mind, I've only got 2 or 3 agents that are in the field at this point. There's about to be 8 to 10 agents that are coming in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So, and they're coming in, a few of them are coming in part-time. So to answer your question, it's a great question. I haven't really had to do it yet, but to answer your question, I think you have to know the person you're talking to, figure out their schedule. Once you know their schedule, and you got to ask them what their goal, what's their why? Because if their why is just to make a couple extra bucks, it's going to be a really hard gig. If their why is, hey, my kids, my job right now, I can't afford to put food on the table. My kids want to play sports. I can't, and I want to be able to do all these things for them, and I can't. Well, that's a little different story because then, okay, you're probably going to burn the midnight oil and you're probably going to come in and work an extra 20, 30 hours a week on top of your full-time job to make this work. If somebody's like, how can I make this work 5-10 hours a week? And I'm off on Monday evenings and I'm off on Friday morning. Well, that's kind of tough. If you want to be a weekend warrior, take Fridays off, dial all day, fill up your weekend. You can make $30,000 a month working all day, Saturday, Sunday, if you have the drive to do it. And that's part-time, right? So I think you have to know your audience, ask them what their situation is, ask them what their why is. And then at that point, how to structure. I wouldn't give up on those people because like I said, 1 or 2 policies, they may go all in and be your top producer at that point. But I think part-time is a good mentality for some people to have. They need that to cope with the idea of I'm getting my insurance license, I'm trying this new thing. Some people need the mentality of part-time to cope with that idea before they realize they can actually do this full-time and blow away any other opportunity that they have.
Okay, so
Sure.
I've got a unique question here. So what were the leads that you started with and which ones would you recommend? For example, would you recommend going, quantity over quality to start just to try to get a few sales in? Or would you rather just go ahead and straight up just like buy 10 of the $11 leads and hope, 3 sit and 2 sell, and then you can go buy 100 leads?
So that's a great question. And I've had a couple agents ask me that already. The way I did it, and is the way I would tell anybody to do it. Buy yourself about 100 or 200 of aged final expense leads. There's a ton of them that you can find. They're cheap, and you've got to get reps in on the phone. I don't care how seasoned you are. I've got one agent, he's got a lot of sales experience, and he put an order in with Game Time, and which here shakes out to like $30 a lead in Virginia. His first batch butchered his phone script. Even though he has a lot of sales experience, he didn't get his reps and he didn't get any practice in. Starts calling them, and he spent all that money on those leads, and I'm pretty sure he hasn't closed one yet. He just bought them last week. So I guess my point is this: I would say, like anything else, buy the cheapest lead, get your reps in. I'll just tell you what I did. I'm not, no shame in my game, man. I came in, I spent $150 my first week, kind of just testing the waters. Up $1.50 leads, about 100 of them. These age final expense leads, and it was tough. Booked like 2 appointments. I closed one. I made $1,200. Out of that $1,200, I went back and bought the 3-month-old leads. I think they're $3 in the CRM, if I'm not mistaken, $3 or $3.50. So I went and bought a batch of those for like $500. I made $2,500 off of those. I was like, okay. And out of that 2,500, I split it in half again. I kept half because I have bills to pay too. But I split that. I took $1,200 out of that, and I dumped it back into leads. And that was the week that I told the gang that I was going to go hard for 10 days and see if I can get to 10,000. And I got my 11,400 off of a $1,200 lead spend. So, and I ramped up to that, obviously, by the time I got to that lead spend, and those were mainly instants on the CRM, just so you know. Those were almost entirely just CRM leads that I did that with. But I guess the point is, I think giving yourself a week or two to ramp up and get your script decent. I don't care how much money you have. I think getting those reps in is important. That's how I feel. I don't know. There may be different opinions. I mean, Ivan, you may feel super different about that, but I think, I don't care who you are. I feel like getting cheap leads so you can get reps in and get good on the phones is going to make you just so much better by the time you're spending money on the better quality leads.
No, I think you're right, Tyler. It's all about the mindset and understanding. You can't cut corners, and you're going to have to put a lot of work in. So it doesn't really matter what leads you buy, but quantity is always a must in the beginning. I've seen people buying 80 brand new final expense leads because they had money, and it's still quantity. So they went through the quantity, and they got profitable. They got profit out of their investment, and they spent a ton at the beginning. And I've seen people putting in $250, $300, and knowing it's going to be a dogfight. That's how they approached it, and they were really serious about just starting 7:30, burning that phone through the whole entire day and getting appointments out of it, and believing in themselves, going out and helping people. So it's all mindset, and what you've been telling us all long today. So we'll have time for one more question, guys.
All right, I got one for you.
Shoot, Dustin.
So what does it look like whenever you're recruiting, as far as what platform do you like to use and like your ad campaign? I know it's all touchy subject when you start mentioning Family First Life, because then they'll moderate your ad, shut it down and whatnot. So how do you campaign to recruit?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's probably a question that I'm not even qualified to answer. What I would say is do what I did. Go to someone above you that's done this for a while, that really has it figured out. That's what I did. And Ivan will tell you that. I just ask a lot of questions to people that have already got it figured out, and take their advice. I definitely am not at a place where I've got it figured out yet. I can tell you, man, the biggest thing for me, warm market. Cold market is obviously huge. That's why we get recruiters and do all that fun stuff. But warm market writes majority of the business for most people. I mean, that's normal. And across the insurance industry, you hear that over and over again. And so for me, about half my agents right now are warm market, which I'm really excited about. And social media, I don't use social media. I didn't use social media. But I told Joe was like, man, you should start recruiting. When I first came in, he's like, you should make a post about Family First Life. And I said, that's part of why I wanted to have that big week early on. I said, I'm not going to make any posts until I do something worth posting about. And it's funny because I didn't even have to make a post, because Joe and Ivan and Mark and all these guys post for you and tag you. So you can do like the humble brag. It ends up on your Facebook page, on your, whatever. Send it over to your Insta story. And it's really crazy, man. The people that go, tell me more about this business that you're doing, And so for me, I think really staying focused on warm market. I've got a girl doing her, she's in training right now to take her exam. I met her in line at the grocery store. She had a really good personality. You could tell she was so nice, but she's making probably minimum wage or a little bit above, maybe, just ringing people out at a grocery store. And so we just kind of small talked, and I was like, I just started a little conversation. I was like, what do you do for a living? I was like, cool. You mind if I send you a link? I think you'd be really, I literally just started the conversation with her, sent her a link to FFL. I've done that a few times now. I'll tell you this, if they watch the video, have a YouTube video, have something prepared to send someone. If they watch it and they follow up with you, that's a great sign. If they never take the time to watch it, they never reach out, I don't reach out to them. If somebody has the initiative, they want to change their life so much, they're willing to watch 1 5-minute video of Sean Mike saying FFL and, in a nutshell in 5 minutes. If somebody's not willing to watch that, they're probably not willing to change their life. They're probably not going to come into this and be super successful. So I don't really chase those people. But yeah, I mean, I would say focus early on, really focus on your warm market. You don't have to be a pest. You just have to do good numbers, and people will come. If you do the numbers, people will come. You can't go out and just tell people it's the best business ever and post other people's numbers. They're going to go, well, bro, show me your bank account. How are you doing? And unless you have something you're excited to show them, they're going to be like, I'm not quitting my job for this, and then you lose potentially, you could have changed their life forever, but they fall off because you try to rush them into this business and you don't even have the numbers that to get them excited.
Oh, that's huge. And great question. Great answer. You never
great
know.
question.
You never know who needs you. You never know who is ready to change their life. Like, not being a pest is absolutely great, but just going on social media, tagging anybody like-minded, Dustin, that doesn't mind you tagging them on Facebook and exposing yourself to their friends that you may not even know, but who could be a great fit. That's a great start. TikTok's amazing. Like, I mean, if you haven't started your TikTok account, you're like, oh, that thing's for dancing crazy kids, like, not really. You know how many people we hired that just said they viewed our posts or somebody else's post saying, oh yeah, we heard about you on TikTok. One agent walked in my office today and he said, hey, remember, this guy I talked to you about? I said, yeah. And he's like, yeah, he watched us making a ton of money on TikTok. And instead of just wanting to make a ton of money, he actually contacted saying, hey, you guys, looks like he's selling life insurance. I need a policy. So he went out and closed it. So which is random. He's like, he was attracted to agents that make a lot of money. He's like, if they make a lot of money, they probably, know what they're doing. So he's like, hey, I need life insurance policy. He contacted, the guy through TikTok and saying, hey, I saw you
That's
there, amazing stuff, but I don't want the job. I want the policy. So you never know how it's going to play out, but expose yourself. I mean, I think your own drummed up resources are way better than the paid ads. I can tell you that. So there's a lot of people that beat around the bush that fill out your ads. So, I mean, just explore that, Dustin. So I hope that makes sense. One quick reminder before I pass it to you, Tyler, to wrap it up. If you're not using the work spots, guys, you're missing out big. I know you might have heard me, about this. Some of you have the account with work spots, some of you don't. But 3 things you might want to remember. Number 1 is you have free digital business card, like a mini website, very solid presence of yourself online that creates enormous amount of trust with your clients. Can you go out there and get this digital business card elsewhere? Yes, costs you $10 a month, not a problem. That thing's included on the work spots. Secondly, have access to any and all offices in the country. If you work out of the house, I love you, but you're not making money from your house. The minute we get off this call, what are you going to do? You're going to get distracted by kids, pets, family, fridge, laundry, car, needing to do something around the house. Go to the office. If you have the Work Spots app, it's kind of forcing you to go to the office, right? So I know I have some people on the call here that drove 3 hours to be in the office, right? And guess what? They're going to make a ton of money next couple of days. They're working in the office, not from home. I like the idea of working from home. It's great. It's popularized throughout all kinds of media nowadays. Stay home, just keep everybody safe and make money. I mean, I get it, you can, but hey, just go and do what, I don't know, what Tyler did, what Joanne Basso did, the same team, you know, they went and ran 30 appointments, and well, Tyler didn't, but Joanne did, but she works in the office. I can tell by the background, and Tyler's behind Tyler, he's in Joe's office today. He's not in his house, and he's going to make a ton of money. So that's the second thing about the WorkSpots app. You know, you get access to any and all offices around the country, whatever you at. And if you're within an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you're not in the office today, I'm a little bit confused about if you for real, if you're trying to treat this business seriously and make real money or not. Just, I mean, just straight talk, not trying to offend anybody. And the third thing, we all buy CRM leads. Tyler's killing it on the CRM leads, and you get 20, 30, 40% off on the CRM leads. That app costs you not even $100, and it saves you over $100 from the very first purchase. You know, you're saving, and I'm not sure if you guys know, but Family First Life agents in the month of June combined saved $810,000 because of the WorkSpots codes. That makes sense? And a very small fraction of people using WorkSpots. I know that. I know the statistic. I know. I have access to the data on the WorkSpots. So, and the deal with that is very small percentage of our agents using the WorkSpots, and that very small percentage saved $810,000 last month on lead purchases. What does that mean? They can invest that additional 810, 5x it, and it's, you know, between all these agents that they would make another 3.5 million in their bank accounts, which is insane. It's but you know, if you're not truly plugging in, you know, WorkSpots means you're also part of the team and you utilizing all of the resources. Does that make sense? So you're missing out big if you're not using it. So go to the office, you know, get yourself professional presence, and buy leads. Use the WorkSpot discounts. But Tyler, I'm gonna pass it back to you, man. I'm very grateful for you taking the time. I appreciate it. I know you're busy building the team. You got to put more appointments on your calendar. You know, you're a beast. I mean, I definitely enjoyed the whole entire interview here. Thanks for being part of the team and being a team player, man. Appreciate you so much. If you want to just give us a parting shout and wrap it up today's call, and we're going to get back on the phones, guys.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it, Ivan. Like I said, guys, thank you so much. I've definitely am nothing special. I have nothing to offer that you can't get anywhere else, obviously, within FFL. We're all in this thing together. I think the big takeaway, it seems like, from today, just even hearing the stuff Ivan's saying, is investing in your mindset, investing time into this business, whether it means you're driving 3 hours to an office just so that you can be part of the team and you know you're going to focus and make more money there, and then investing money, you know, buying the right amount of leads, really apply, like Ivan said, what are you going to do? Buy all these leads and then just let them sit and go to waste? No, you're going to work them, right? So you've got to invest your time, you've got to invest your money. It doesn't have to be a lot of money, right? Like I said, I started small and I actually was able to build up. I only ever really played with house money. All the money I spend at this point comes from the money I've made spending money, right? So it's a beautiful system. So invest in your leads, invest in your business, invest your money, invest your time, and invest in your mindset. Read books, listen to podcasts, listen to YouTube videos, have that content running. I love music so much, guys. I don't listen to music when I'm running appointments. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to YouTube videos, all about FFL. So my mind is in the right place so that when I go sit down with that client, they have my undivided attention. I'm not humming a song in my head that I just listened to in the car, right? I'm making sure that I'm focused and in the right spot. So I guess that's all I would say, guys, is, you know, we've got some awesome leadership. I'm, again, humbled, honored to get to be here, just to get to be part of the team. I appreciate you guys being part of the call today.